Please watch the preceding videos of Dream Drop Discuss first, as they're the foundations of which this video builds upon. The link is in the description. In this video, we'll be covering 3 different Dream Drop Discuss subjects. Why Sora and Riku appear younger, why they have different clothes, and a debate of their time travel to Kingdom Hearts 1. In a flashback, Yensid states he wants Sora and Riku to restart in their Keyblade training.
Both of you are self-taught Keyblade wielders. An impressive feat. However, the time has come for you to let go of preconceived notions, forget what you know about the Keyblade, and begin your training again with a clean slate.
And I believe Sora and Riku appearing younger is symbolic of this, since the ages they appear as are the ages they were when they both began wielding the Keyblade. We can guess they appear younger due to Yensid's magic by following some breadcrumbs. When Sora and Riku first wake up in Traverse Town individually, they both notice their new outfits. Sora assumes that his clothes, quote, must be more of Yensid's magic. But notice that neither remark on how they appear younger. This could be because they both were already young before they arrived in Traverse Town. Similar to how in Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora, Donald, and Goofy all point out that they all look like monsters. I imagine a similar instance happened when Sora and Riku first get to Destiny Islands before the beginning of Dream Drop Distance, and that they both point out how young they look. Now that's not confirmed, but it does explain why we don't see Sora and Riku surprised with their younger appearances like they were with their new clothes. I recognize many channels already explain this, but later I'll address a confusing situation that I personally noticed is usually neglected. Now, while we theorize that Yensid's magic is responsible for Sora and Riku's younger appearance, it's highly unlikely that he's responsible for their new outfits. If Yensid were, we would already see Sora and Riku in their new clothes on Destiny Islands at the beginning of Dream Drop Distance, just like their younger appearance. But it's not until they land in Dream Traverse Town that they get their new outfits. For Sora, young Xehanort explains his outfit features the Rikusen sigil, which allows the organization to track him even in the realm of sleep. It's definitely weird to think about, but we have to assume that they used their own magic to make this outfit appear on Sora. For Riku, Ansem the Seeker of Darkness explains that when Sora and Riku unlocked the sleeping keyhole at Destiny Islands, Riku recognized Ansem and instinctively dove into Sora's dreams. And because Riku's will was to protect Sora, he became a Dream Eater to protect him from nightmares. So it seems the idea itself of Riku becoming a Dream Eater is what gave him the clothes. The organization themselves isn't responsible for that. Now, before I address some rather complex details, let's just summarize what I've said. That Yensid is responsible for their younger appearances alone, but the organization is responsible for Sora's outfit, and being a Dream Eater is responsible for Riku's outfit. Now, what I don't see people explain is the contradicting evidence to this near the end of Dream Drop Distance, starting when the group returns to the mysterious tower. Here, we see that both Riku and Sora reverted back to their original ages and clothes. And to help make what I'm about to say less confusing, let's just focus on Riku for now, and then I'll integrate Sora in later. When Riku is in the real world that never was, he states,
I know I'm back in the real world, but I still have my Dream Eater powers, which means he still hasn't woken up.
So if Riku truly has a Dream Eater outfit in the real world that never was because Sora is asleep, and Sora is still asleep at the mysterious tower, then I would think Riku should still have his Dream Eater outfit on here as well. But his outfit only returns when Riku dives back into Sora's dreams. And that's not the only thing that reappears. His younger appearance does as well, even though we already established that that should only be due to Yensid's magic for the exam. Because of this, and I could absolutely be wrong because I rarely come to this sort of conclusion, but I currently believe it's because Dream Drop Distance's development team did not make an older model of Riku with the Dream Eater outfit. If Dream Drop Distance were to be consistent, then I genuinely think Riku at the Mysterious Tower, who is rightfully older, should also still have a Dream Eater outfit. And vice versa. When Riku's in Sora's dreams, he has the right outfit, but now he should also be older. Sora seems to have this inconsistency only once as well, but other than that obeys the logic. When unconscious in the real world that never was, he's still young in his outfit with the sigil, because at this point he's still in the organization's clutches and hasn't returned to Yensid. Even in the epilogue, we see that Sora, safe and sound in Dream Traverse Town, is his older self with his normal outfit, so both of these follow the rules. However, before the epilogue, when Sora is brought to the Mysterious Tower, his outside self is older, due to Yensid reverting his magic, and he's no longer in the sigil outfit because he's no longer tracked by the organization. And while this fits with the rules, there's still Sora's dream self during this same time to look at. In the Station of Awakening, Sora is still young and still in the sigil outfit. So this could be an error with the models as well, or the clear distinction between outside Sora and inside Sora symbolizes that even though Sora is safe in the Mysterious Tower again, his heart is still in danger of being consumed by darkness, and hasn't returned to safety. But symbolism or not, I can't help but feel like there's a slight inconsistency with Sora as well. Because I seldom come to conclusions like model errors, I would love to have feedback and discussion on this in case there's a detail or an overall picture that I'm missing. But as of making this video, this is the best that I've got. I'll talk about other aspects of time travel, like the methods of young Xehanort or Maleficent and the Dandelions, another time. I see a lot of debate on whether or not Sora and Riku actually time travel in Dream Drop Distance back to Kingdom Hearts 1. This is because, in all honesty, there's evidence supporting and contradicting that theory, with the other theory being Destiny Islands is a sleeping world during Dream Drop Distance, and Sora and Riku only went into its dream cycle of past events. So let's play the devil's advocate and state the case for both possibilities. The case for Sora and Riku actually time traveling. Most of the strong evidence for this is pretty clear dialogue. In a flashback of Dream Drop Distance, Yensid states,
I will return you to the Destiny Islands, just before they were swallowed by the darkness and plunged into sleep.
Further in the game, when discussing how advanced Xehanort's plans are, Goofy says,
But what if he did the same thing as Sora and Riku did, and he jumped through time?
Xigbar, who we now know is extremely knowledgeable, says,
You were able to go back in time to just before your home became a sleeping world, only because a past version of you already existed there.
Even when Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness, is talking to Riku, he says,
At the start of your test, when you struck out from that tiny island, you saw me there dressed in a robe.
The real Mickey doesn't remember Sora or Riku from the sleeping worlds, so we know figments of dreams don't affect the memories of their real selves. So if robed Ansem was only a figment of Destiny Island's dream, then Dream Drop Distance Ansem wouldn't actually remember Riku seeing him. So Ansem mentioning this implies Sora and Riku did time travel to Kingdom Hearts 1, and he's remembered future Riku noticing him ever since Kingdom Hearts 1. But there's a possible contradiction I'll mention later. A variable depending on two rules of time travel. I will analyze all of young Xehanort's rules of time travel more in depth in another video, but there are a couple rules I want to talk about now while they're relevant. Two of the rules young Xehanort states are:
First, you must leave your body behind to do it. Then there must be a version of you waiting at the destination.
I always assumed that both these rules must always be true. But it seems based on what Yensid and Xigbar say in Dream Drop Distance, if you have a version of yourself waiting at the destination, then you do not need to leave your body behind after all.
For that to work, a version of himself would have had to exist at both source and destination. Not even Xehanort can transport his whole body across vast reaches of time.
You were able to go back in time to just before your home became a sleeping world, only because a past version of you already existed there.
This idea could explain why Sora and Riku could time travel to Kingdom Hearts 1 with their bodies. However, there are contradictions to this idea in Kingdom Hearts 3. Since Master Xehanort was restored as his current self, then Xemnas nor Ansem the Seeker of Darkness should need replicas to place their hearts in. But they do, so that supports the idea that you must leave your body behind, and there must be a version of you at the destination after all. So as far as I can tell, Dream Drop Distance and Kingdom Hearts 3's rules of time travel seem to contradict each other. Even in Union Cross, with the now introduced Ark, there's no evidence Sora and Riku used such a vessel, since it's never seen or even mentioned. So, we revert back to Sora and Riku couldn't have time traveled because they have their bodies intact. So let's follow where that possibility takes us. The case for Sora and Riku only entering Destiny Island's dreams. Possible contradictions to time travel. As I discussed just now, chances are Sora and Riku can't time travel with their bodies intact. And we know for a fact that Sora and Riku enter the exam using their real bodies, because they're missing during any mysterious tower cutscene while they're away. We know that Sora and Riku aren't in replicas because they didn't have access to those until Kingdom Hearts 3 with the help of Vienzo and company. Sora and Riku didn't possess their past selves because Riku has short hair, and it's not like they just took their Kingdom Hearts 1 bodies and brought them all the way back to Dream Drop Distance's time of the real world that never was. Even if Sora and Riku did time travel to Kingdom Hearts 1, at what point would they have returned to the current time? If it was one of the sleeping keyholes that allowed them to return to the time of Dream Drop Distance, wouldn't Master Xehanort use sleeping keyholes to time travel? It couldn't have been Yensid's magic alone that let them time travel, because Xehanort would have taken advantage of magic as well. We also know Yensid didn't use portals to send Sora and Riku back to Kingdom Hearts 1, because Riku doesn't even know what a portal is until he meets Joshua. We know Ursula in the beginning of Dream Drop Distance isn't real because of her phantom title in the battle objective, and because she didn't even meet Sora until later in Kingdom Hearts 1. So chances are Phantom Ursula was either summoned by Yensid or Dream Drop Distance Ansem Seeker of Darkness. But it's not like either can summon anything to the complete past or future beyond their own time. We've never heard of anything like that before. So to me, Phantom Ursula denies the possibility that Sora and Riku time traveled to Kingdom Hearts 1. We know that Kingdom Hearts 1 robed Ansem didn't summon Phantom Ursula, because he never met her by Kingdom Hearts 1's beginning either. Earlier I mentioned Ansem the Seeker of Darkness. Mentioning Riku noticing him is evidence that Riku and Sora did truly time travel. But if robed Ansem is only a figment of Destiny Island's dreams, then another possibility is that Dream Drop Distance Ansem the Seeker of Darkness was observing Sora and Riku during Dream Drop Distance's beginning, and saw that Riku noticed dream-robed Ansem. This would also explain how Ansem the Seeker of Darkness could have been the one to summon Phantom Ursula in current times. Possible support of Dream World only. Xigbar confirms that Destiny Islands became a sleeping world during Kingdom Hearts 1. The mysterious tower was still a sleeping world as the Symphony of Sorcery, but also was awake to the point where it was still invested by nobodies and heartless and had people living in it. I believe Destiny Islands is the same. It also allows people like Kairi to live, and nobodies like Axel's Dusks can visit, but it's still asleep to the point where Sora and Riku were able to enter its dreams. This is also supported by the fact that discounting the second visit to Traverse Town, Destiny Islands must have been the 7th sleeping world that Sora and Riku had to wake up before they arrived in the world that never was. When Mickey offers to help Sora and Riku, Yensid replies,
How? You cannot enter the world of a dream? Where will you go?
In my video about portals, I mention how all humans are dreamers, so Mickey, a non-human, can't enter a sleeping world possibly because he's not a dreamer. This implies Sora and Riku only went into Destiny Island's dreams and not time-traveled. Otherwise, there's no reason Yensid could not have sent Mickey back in time like he did Sora and Riku. There's one last piece of possible evidence supporting the idea that Destiny Islands in the beginning of Dream Drop Distance is a sleeping world, but it's a bit theoretical and needs a lot of explaining, so I would rather give it its own shorter video than squish it into this one. Now, if you still firmly believe that Sora and Riku did indeed time travel, that's fine. But I would appreciate if you could address a lot of the points I've made in the comments, so that you can help me understand. Otherwise, there will always be a part of me conflicted with the idea that Sora and Riku actually time traveled with their bodies with no solid explanation.